my bag. It's like a fucking dump.
Take a fat dump, be right back.
Pivotal moment for our planet, for ourselves. We are rapidly approaching the limits we've set to keep ourselves safe, and we're already feeling the consequences of inaction. It's because Miriam's office was at NASA GIS's offices. GIS works to monitor and understand the different processes affecting our climate, vital research that's used by climate scientists across the world. But here's the thing.
We were no longer allowed to use our office space. We're effectively getting evicted. For a while, everyone was saying this was a lease cancellation, but turns out they actually can't cancel our lease. We just re-signed it, and the building's just going to be empty. It's going to limit collaboration. It's going to make it more difficult for people to work.
And this isn't just about this world-renowned lab losing its home. Since Miriam and I spoke, there's talk about scrapping it entirely, and climate research is getting gutted across the board. For PhD students wrapping up their research projects, like Miriam, the natural question is, what's next? But the answer to that question is now deeply uncertain. Trump has attacked research at the Environmental Protection Agency. Hundreds of workers at the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, have been laid off. Mentions of climate have been scrubbed from official websites, and this is all part of a broader assault on scientific research. They limit our ability to understand what's happening to our climate and predict what we're in for tomorrow. And attacks on agencies like NOAA have consequences right now, especially as we're seeing climate change dial up extreme weather disasters, from hurricanes to heat waves.
Okay, let's listen to this again. I'm listening to it on my speaker. I don't know. Is this thing really necessary, this thing he's got here? Is that, like, is that necessary? Can't you do that with your hands? Or with just manpower? What's up with this fucking thing he's pulling around? I just save you time, I guess. I just looks kind of ridiculous to me when I start doing this stuff. You're not gonna see me with one of those things. Oh, like this stuff needs to be done with manpower. Like what? This looks ridiculous. I don't know how badly you need something like that to do what he's doing. He's one guy. I guess I don't know, but with global warming, these kind of things everybody's doing, you know, everyone's got some fucking kind of bullshit that's supposed to take away the work or whatever, like make things easier, more optimal, whatever. But we should be like, these things are taking away manpower, and it's hard to say because of individualism. We now have these machines that do this stuff for us because we're only one person and there's so much work to do, I guess. I don't know. It's just, this stuff has to go away though. Like, we really should be manpower most things that we do. Or some other alternative, whatever that looks like. Not these fucking machines anymore. 100 years, 50 years, this shit's gotta go. If global warming, we all know it's real. I say if, because we're never 100% sure of anything. And I mean global warming through fossil fuels. There's other theories, you know. I'm sure you know what I mean. But this is fucking looks ridiculous. Look at this. Looks ridiculous. And I want to bring back doing things with manpower. I want to influence, and I plan on being a leader and doing like, I guess you'd call it political stuff, but just leading people to influencing. I guess I'm an influencer. Anyway, I'm gonna be doing what they're doing. I'm trying to do what they're doing back in my home village. And can you hear me? I don't know. Hello? Hello? I plan on doing what they're doing, and I'm just criticizing the fact that he's got this little machine thing that does whatever he's doing. And it just feels like that could be done with manpower. And that could be said about a lot of things that we're doing. Just think of all the machines that we run off fossil fuels that we use to make our lives easier, and how unnecessary they could be in a world where we have community and no more individualism, and you have help. That's what I strive for. But and the reason is because the world is fucking burning, and it's getting. We need to stop using fossil fuels. These machines have to be electric if we're going to continue using them, and they need to be solar powered. They need to be electric, and they can't be through electric power that is through burning fossil fuels or whatever the fuck they do. And I'm aware everything that I'm doing right now, I'm living off of fossil fuel energy. My stream is on fossil fuel energy. My whole life, I stay warm off fossil fuels. I am having electricity to do everything I'm doing on fossil fuels. So right now we're at a point where we have to use fossil fuels to fucking influence not using fossil fuels, which eventually means I need to get myself on solar energy, because that has to be, like, if society is going to continue the way we are, we have to transition And that's billions of people transitioning to a different source of energy, which is kind of impossible, but we have to do it, and we are trying to do it currently. It's what the world is trying to do right now. And good luck to us, I guess. So essentially what I work in is trying to get people to do things more with manpower, such as walking. How many of us can walk? And how much of what we are doing is wasteful? While we're trying to transition to electric, solar, or wind, or whatever we plan on doing, it essentially just means that most of what we do has to, in the way we do it, has to stop. What I'm trying to influence is walking, manpower, the kind of stuff that we're essentially going to have to transition to during this energy transition. The small things within the big picture. Get you a bike, we gotta start building our cities differently. It's a whole lot. It's a lot of stuff. It's essentially telling people that have worked their whole life to set up what they've set up in their life, that they need to change it in some way, or complete hundreds of millions, billions. Again, good luck, Earth. I really need to do everything that they were doing, except I need to influence doing that without all the shit that they use to do it. Building the society of cultivating, because we need to stop shipping food from other places. That's polluting the air. And that decentralizes where our food comes from. And not a system of like going and making money, working a job, and then buying food from the store. Our communities, our cities, our communities, our villages, our towns need to have populations of people cultivating large amounts of cultivation and learning how to do it. We need to learn how to do it without doing all the stuff that those guys were doing. We've done it before, manpower. And I don't like you enslaving animals to do our work, which is what we did before. But now we have motor vehicles. That needs to stop. It's looking like we're gonna have to enslave animals again, unless we can do this with human power, which would need community and anti-individualism. You're helping someone else with their garden so that you can eat. Or you have your own garden and you're getting help so that everybody can eat. Everybody should be cultivating and helping each other cultivate in their own, however that looks, communal, individual gardens, both. Needs to happen. We need to stop shipping foods from places. We need to stop clear cutting forests. And it's really just the fact that we ship it and the fact that we destroy ecosystems to grow it. We destroy ecosystems to grow it, and then we further destroy ecosystems to ship it around. That needs to stop. And that transition is supposed to take place at some point. I want to fucking send that shit. I want to be a beacon of making that happen. We were supposed to stop fossil fuels decades ago. Right now, we have to deal with the ramifications. Not only do we need to stop now, like we did tens of years ago, we now have to prepare for the ramifications from not having stopped tens of years ago. Earth has a mission. Humans on this earth right now have a mission. We need to change essentially a full 180. We can have what we have through another source, but that needs to happen. While that's happening, our lives should, to help that change happen, we need to change our lives on pretty much 180. We should be trying to become less reliant on energy overall in the very small parts of our lives. How am I supposed to tell somebody that they're supposed to do that? Does it come, like, it comes through community? Maybe we start enslaving animals again like we used to. We've cultivated and built societies without technology before. We saw that video. They were doing all that shit. Anything that was helping them build that, whatever they built with fossil fuels, needs to eventually stop. Maybe we need to be building this society of cultivation with the fossil fuels so that we can stop using the fossil fuels. You know, like, do we need to ramp up our fossil fuel usage to go around and do this stuff so that we can stop using fossil fuels? What does it look like? This is mission impossible. Hundreds of millions, billions need to change their way of life. Billions of people, they've been fucking working their whole life to build up what they've built on the way the world works. And we need to change their lives, or we need to tell them to stop using fossil fuels. And their whole life and everything they built was based off of the use of fossil fuels. So they keep what they had, and we transition from fossil fuels to a different type of energy source, and they get to keep whatever they're doing. So what does it look like? My music, I'm bringing the scare factor. I make my music for fame. I'm making my content for fame, so that I can influence hundreds of millions. How many fans does like any given famous person have? How many how many people do they reach? I'm talking fame. That's why I'm pursuing, if you see my art and my stuff, I'm pursuing a messiah complex. Because I feel like that's the most controversial and fame-inducing people. I mean, there's like a lot going on in the religious culture, and people are constantly thinking end of the world and stuff through their culture, and it's looking like if it's the end of the world, and that's what everybody, what these religious cultures, and there's supposed to be a messiah, maybe that's Christianity, whatever other religions. I need like messiah fame. So that's what I'm doing. I'm taking global warming action to a religious context, to a Messiah context, like God is here to say, hey, the world's burning. Do something. You need to do something. Or it's possible shit's gonna fucking, well, it's certain shit's gonna hit the fan. People are moved. Religion, messiahs have fucking changed the world. They influenced hundreds of millions to act certain ways, to think certain ways, to it's religion. People's whole lives, and what they often think about, it's like religious stuff. And that's what essentially I need to do. And so I pursue a messiah complex. Join my cult. I got something to read, something I'm supposed to read, and I have a lot of stuff that I need to read. I gotta do a lot of reading. I'm gonna be pursuing possibly some college stuff, which I didn't do good in school, so I need to be like kind of more savvy with school like things, and yeah, so I'm gonna read this real quick. I'm gonna read this. It's Outpost Gardening in Interior Alaska, Food System Innovation in the Alaska Native Gardens of the 1930s through the 1970s. 12:30. I'm almost halfway, and then I'm gonna stop and do something else for a little bit, and then I'll come back. Let's listen to this beat real quick and dance. Yeah, I'm gonna stop my stream and I'm gonna do something else for a little bit. And I'll be back. So